Hello, hello. Welcome to Moonlit Monday with Shawnee of 11 Moons. I am here tonight to talk about Saturn. Um, so I'm not really going to do a long intro tonight. I'm just going to get right into it. I will let y'all know I am wearing Sweet Sage, of course, by 11 Moons. You can purchase that lip gloss for $8 on my website, or you can buy it in the nudes bundle for $25. Um, yeah, so that's that. So tonight, again, I'm going to be talking about Saturn, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. First things first, I always tell y'all that I'm into Kabbalistic numerology, and in that system of numerology, Saturn represents the number 3, which is Binah, the energy of the consecration of intelligence, the form of the tree, divine femininity, birthing creations. Um, it's all about the omega, going through the thick of things to get to the beauty, to get to the other side of creation. So, um, I love Saturn. I'm a Capricorn. Us Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. So, this energy is right up my alley. I figured it would just make the most sense to talk about it next because Saturn is very important in your natal chart and where your Saturn position is and your Saturn returns, things of that nature really are very important. Hello, love. How you doing tonight? Um, so yeah, Saturn can be considered a very fatherly or grandfatherly type of energy. Some people would also consider it the great mother, like me, who like to think of things from a more divine feminine aspect. Bodily effects that Saturn has regulates skin disorders, teeth, joints, um, bones, things like phlebitis, gallstones. Um, Psychological effects include depression over feelings of insufficiency, being overly analytical, being overly critical of yourself, feeling like your achievements are the only thing that define your character. Those are all things that point to the energy of Saturn kind of being out of balance in your life. Also, lack of time management, lack of discipline, lack of will, lack of keeping your word, inability to commit and to grow into your full potential. Those are also issues that are related to not tapping in with Saturn. Um, Saturn really brings an energy of work again and discipline to our lives. It's really about mastery through restriction, and learning how to sometimes surrender to the restrictions that we're surrounded with for the greater good. Because, in the society that we live in today, a lot of times we'll be led to believe that restrictions are just not real, and that, sometimes um, we can push past every single restriction, and that's not true. We don't always have that control, and sometimes we're faced with limitations and restrictions for a reason, and we need to surrender and submit to those energies sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. A lot of time when Saturn is coming in and nudging you, that's what's happening. You're not learning the lessons, you're not submitting to the restrictions, and then on top of that, you're refusing to review how far you've come. You're refusing to go to the next phase of growth and maturity. And so Saturn will come in and say, hey, I'm about to whoop your ass, or I'm about to put you in jail, basically, and put these locks and restrictions on you so you can learn and get through. Hello, hello. Um, so yeah, that is what Saturn represents. It's going to be the strongest in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libra. So not your sun sign, but your Saturn placement. If your Saturn placement is in Capricorn, Aquarius, or Libra, that is a strong placement for you. If your Saturn is in Cancer, Leo, or Aries, it's going to have to work harder. Reason being in Cancer is because Cancers are ruled by water. It's a very emotional energy. Saturn does not have time for emotions, okay? It's very much, let's do what we have to do. Let's be logical and practical about this, and let's move on to the next thing. We don't have time for all that water, going with the flow, and being empathetic and all that. Like, no, it's going to be black, white, work, achieve, go, step, 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 jump. Okay? So that's why Cancers have a hard time. Or not Cancers, I should say. Cancers will be having a hard time while Saturn is currently in Capricorn. But what I'm saying is if your Saturn placement is in Cancer, okay? Um, for Leos, it's very much Leos just want to do whatever they want to do. They want to come out how they want to come out. They want to be seen how they want to be seen, and they want to reflect to the world how they want to reflect. And sometimes Saturn comes in and is like, no, baby, no, we're not doing that. We're going to do it this way. You're going to like the order. You're going to submit. And Leos don't like that. Like, they are the lion. They want to go with their own roar pretty much. And they don't have time to be trying to get in line with discipline. They have a very strong issue with authority. And because of that, those energies butt heads. And then with Aries, it's the same thing. Aries just, they think they know everything. They always have to experience before they have to learn by experience. They can't learn by way of someone else, or they can't be, you know, I'm mature enough to know this or mature enough to know that. No, I didn't do it, so now I'm going to do it and see what it feels like. And Saturn does not have time for that energy. So it is indeed a struggle. She said, my son is Leo rising. That's our current struggle. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's a struggle. That disappointment and that bucking the authority is a struggle. Because they just want to do what they want to do. They feel like they know what's best. You can't tell them nothing. So yeah, it's going to have to work harder if your Saturn is in Cancer, Leo, or Aries. When Saturn returns to the sign that it was in at the time of your natal chart or your birth at the same position, that is your Saturn return. It happens every about 29 years. And during that time, we are being asked to review, what the hell have you been doing? What have you been doing with the time that we've given you on this earth? What have you accomplished? What part of your legacy have you been building? Who is it that you want to be? Who are you? You know, and it's very much it's aggressive. It's a very aggressive energy. So a lot of people will speak about how Saturn return can be hectic and chaotic, and it's very like just in your face type of energy, and it is, but it's not meant to be invasive. It's more of, let me just give you this nudge to say, hey, you've been here about 30 years. What are we doing? You know, 3 again, that number 3, that pinnacle of growth and creation. Where are we in that process? Chosen, I said, pace handsomely. Yes, it does. When you surrender to those energies and do the work, it definitely pays handsomely, for sure. I have learned that this past year and a half, for sure. So yeah, that's your Saturn return. It happens every about 29 years. And it just really is about your growth phase through the next point of life. Again, it can be painful, but it's necessary. So the more you fight against it, the worse it will feel. Just try to embrace it, breathe through it, and accept it. The opening Saturn square. So this happens every about 28 years after the age of 7. And what happens in this opening square is that life starts to push you and see what you're going to do. Like, see how you're going to push back. Like, what is your discipline and your foundation of defense going to be? Not really so much defense that you're into the Mars territory, but like defense of your accomplishments, defense of who you think you are and your character, you know. So during these opening squares, it really is the time to say, how do I transform? And again, this happens about every 28 years after the age of 7. And then we have the Saturn opposition placement that happens every 28 years after the age of 14. It's really about review and redirect. Okay, here's where I am. Let me go this way because this doesn't feel right. Here's where I am. This isn't feeling right. Let me redirect this way before I get to the return and shit gets really real. So Again, that happens every 28 years after the age of 14. And then you have the closing Saturn square, okay? This is a square with Uranus. It's not a square with your natal Saturn. So it's a different aspect of square, but still nonetheless an important square of Saturn. So the closing Saturn square brings a lot of tension between basically blending into society and deciding that you're just going to be like, fuck that shit, I'm doing whatever I want to do, I'm going against status quo, I'm rebelling, I'm moving on, like I'm not submitting to any of that. It's basically the times when we're battling between those places the most. It starts after the age of 21 and it happens every 28 to 29 years. So those are pretty much the aspects and transits to look into. Like I always tell y'all, it's not just about your natal chart. Your natal chart is important. That's the foundation. You want to learn your natal chart so you know like the blueprint of who you are. But it's all about the transits, the transits, the transits. So if you're not staying in touch with the transits and you don't know what's going on, where it's happening, then it's really not that helpful, because sometimes the position of things when you were born is not necessarily the same alignment as it is right now, and it's important to be able to work with the current energies. So that's why you need to know transits. That's why astrology is important. That's why you watch people like me or Chosen Eyes or House of Chiron, who will teach you things about astrology and what certain things mean. So yeah. Those are your squares to be aware of. Saturn is most powerful during Capricorn transits because Capricorn and Saturn go together like white goes on rice. Saturn and Capricorn go together like honey goes in tea. It's just like, you know, it's like bread and butter. Like they just go, because Capricorn is all about that gold energy where it's like slow and steady, step by step. I'm going to be harsh, I'm going to be practical, I'm going to be methodical, and I'm going to accomplish what the hell I want to accomplish at the end of the day. And Saturn very much aligns with that energy of work, discipline, structure, and routine, okay? So since the current transit is Saturn in Capricorn, know that this is going to be a period where things are moving slow and steady, but at the same time, we're coming into a new decade, y'all. We're in the year 2020. We're in a 0 year, okay? So you should be laying the foundation for how you want the whole next decade to go. And Saturn being in Capricorn is supporting you in that energy if you're willing to do the work. But if you're not going to do the work, then it's just not going to happen. Okay? Uranus is in Taurus. That's very much, I'm going to shake shit up, but you're going to have to keep your order anyway. And then Saturn is in Capricorn. And it's like, okay, work, discipline, routine, method. What are you doing? How are you doing it? How far are you taking it? What is your why? What is your how? When is your deadline? Very much have that in order, okay? You don't have to know necessarily how everything is going to pan out, because again, we're in a 0 year. So it's kind of like the new moon where it's still dark. We still have a lot to figure out. We may not be able to see the vision fully, but we should be laying the foundation. We should be getting the roots set to grow, to sprout. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Please let me know in the comments, because sometimes I just be talking, spirit just be moving through me and talking, and then I don't know what the hell I be saying. I'd be like, okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope that just made sense for y'all. But so it is home. Saturn is home in Capricorn, and it's currently in Capricorn. So day by day, pattern by pattern, habit by habit. That is how you're going to get things done. This is a challenging time for Capricorns, Cancers, and Libras. For Capricorns, because we're already critical, we already are hard on ourselves as this energy is on us. So it's like ×2, okay? It's hard for Aries because of the same thing. Aries are very self-critical, and when they start feeling like things aren't happening fast enough, which this is not an energy in which things are going to happen fast, then they start getting down and depressed on themselves. So this is a hard energy for Aries to deal with as well. For Libras, they just feel like they don't have control, and even though they say that they don't want control, they do. And when things aren't happening in the way that they feel they should be happening, they have problems. So again, they have an issue with this energy because they don't want to submit to a different order. Okay, so for Aries, they don't want to submit the control. For Capricorn, they don't want to submit the self-criticism and self-analyzation. And for Libra, they don't want to submit to the order. So it's just gonna be tough. You're gonna have to figure it out, okay? If you're a Scorpio or Pisces, you have a great chance for advancement in this period if you learn detachment and consistency. You are being taught the lesson of detachment and consistency right now. If you're a Scorpio or a Pisces, and you can either fall in line with those energies and find what those lessons have in store for you, or you'll just have to go back and keep repeating the lesson and repeating the lesson, because that's what Saturn does. Okay, it'll keep coming back to whoop your ass and returning to whoop your ass until you get it and submit. Herbs that you can use to tap into the energy of Saturn: violet, white lilies, opium, nightshade, horsetail, patchouli. Stones, all stones dark: obsidian, black onyx, shungite, spirit quartz, iolite. Deities that are indicative of Saturn energy: Kali, Pravati, Netta, Shiva. All these deities represents for Aquarius. I'll have to pull some cards for you. I feel like this energy is not affecting you guys as much as it is affecting Capricorns, only because you guys are in a progressed period right now where your Aquarius energy is a little bit more watery than usual, and so you're just kind of able to flow a little bit better with these changes being brought in by the Aquarius age. It's not so much of a challenge or a benefit for you all. It's kind of just like I need to ride the wave and make sure I continue to maintain through this tough energy. But yeah, that's what I would have for Aquarius, but I'll pull some cards for you just to get some additional guidance. Did that make sense, chosen eyes? So yeah, those are some deities that go in alignment with Saturn. Kali is a popular deity. A lot of people use Kali. Pravati is also a popular deity. Net, popular Egyptian deity. Saturn brings wisdom, discipline, and mastery through restrictions. I said that earlier. Yeah, no, I get it. I was looking at the transits, but that's basically what it's saying, is that you guys are more in a progressed period during this time, so you're able to better navigate through these energies. Okay, I think that's all that I wanted to cover on Saturn. So I'm gonna pull a few cards for chosen eyes real quick, and then I'm gonna do this Saturn connection spread. The questions in here, you guys, are: what lessons or patterns have we avoided facing? How can we accept accountability and overcome these patterns? How can we better accept the current restrictions and limitations that will help lead us in the right direction? What knowledge are we ready to share? How can we better acknowledge and proactively use our potential? And then message from Saturn and additional guidance and considerations. Okay, so we are going to answer those. Oh, I wanted to show y'all these. So I'm always talking about astrology, and I forget that I have these astrology cards that I can use to give you guys visual representation of what it is I'm saying. Okay, so this is the signal, or the symbol rather, for Saturn, this right here. And this just shows the 6 rings. But it's the crescent and the cross, okay? The crescent of restrictions and not living in the past, not living in the limitation of our experiences, but knowing that sometimes when we come to a peak, there's going to be restrictions, and we'll have to cross that bridge to get back onto that crescent. That's really what the energy of Saturn is about, and the symbol shows that. Thank you. This is the Astro Soul deck. I forget who it's by. And then I'm always talking to y'all about aspects. I'll have to show y'all all the aspects cards another day. But this is the square aspect card. I just talked a lot about squares. The writing doesn't really show, so I'm going to read it to you all. But it says restriction, struggle, obstacles, experience, effort, learning, conflict, obsession, and problems. Those are energies that the transits of square represent. So if you're looking at your current transits or whatever, and you see, I don't know, Pluto square Jupiter or whatever, this just means that all these things are what's happening between those 2 points of energy in your chart, okay? And then Saturn represents the 9th house, and the 9th house is all about fulfillment, social status, social climbing, ambition, achievement, and that is what this card basically says. In other words, it says, this is the house of fulfillment and social status. Here is where we see structures, corporations, tradition, ambition, public image and fame, discipline, achievements, recognition, rules, and father figure. It is also associated with power and authority, as well as the people who exert them. The mantra that goes along with this is I achieve. Makes perfect sense for Saturnian energy. So I just wanted to show you guys that, to give you all a visual representation and like a clear definition outside of my ramblings of what Saturn represents in your actual life. Okay, so let me just pull these cards real quick for Miss Chosen Eyes, message for Aquarius lessons. Wow. Saturn is in Capricorn. I'm about to change my setup so I can get out of this corner. I'm working on it, y'all, because I just need more space. Okay, so I feel like it's definitely more of embracing the idea, like I said, of the progressed water energies that you're walking into, knowing when to let your light shine and when to just kind of hang in the balance and let things die down. And feeling comfortable and confident in those energies, not really questioning the on or off switch. Because sometimes Aquarius feel like, you know, if I'm not constantly shining my light, sharing my knowledge, sharing the information that I've gained and the wisdom that I have, then I'm not doing what I'm meant to do. And that's not necessarily true. Sometimes your star power does lie in your being quiet and reflecting and being introspective or being more domestic. Because the burden of teaching the world, the burden of sharing all the information in the world and trying to help everybody is not yours to carry alone. So sometimes you have to take a break from those energies. Otherwise, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice, and also doing your family a disservice, doing your business a disservice, doing your finances a disservice, because you're going to be causing a certain level of disappointment within yourself. So don't even put yourself into that position, I think, is the message here. And then you're right at home in Saturn at the world. You know, the world represents Saturn. You're a reader, you know that. So it puts you right where you need to be when you kind of surrender to the fact that I've been feeling more reflective and quiet and like kind of setting my boundaries and allowing things to die down, and I'm okay in that. And I know that when I'm ready to come out and be that informational source and ship for everyone, then the world will be at my fingertips still, and I don't have to worry about that diminishing. That was for you, Miss Chosen Eyes. Did that make sense? Are you an Aquarius? What sign are you, by Shalisha? When's your birthday? All right, let me pull for the collective reading, and then I guess I'll get out of y'all's hair. I got a new deck, but I don't know if I'm ready to share it with y'all yet. Maybe on Wednesday. I'm not ready. I gotta let it charge on my altar and bless it and things. I've been laying hella low. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Thank you for joining my live. I love having you. She's a Libra. Okay. Well, no, this energy is gonna be harder for you because you don't want to embrace the order. You just need to adopt more order and structure during this time. That's your lesson. For everyone who's just joining, I am wearing Sweet Sage. We should. When do you want to do it? Just let me know. I'm down. I am wearing Sweet Sage by 11 Moons. You can purchase this lip gloss on my website for $8, or you can buy it in the nude bundle for $25, where you get 5 different glosses. And I just wanted to show y'all how creamy my body butter is. This is Cocoa Goddess. This is my favorite one. This is what I use every day. But I have 3 different scents and a masculine scent, so 4 actually. But it's so creamy, and you just need just a little dab. Watch. Y'all see that little dab? No. Just watch how my fingers are about to just glow. Look at that. So go ahead and get the thing. I just had to plug my own products real quick. I'm about to drop some sales. I already dropped the Thankful. You can use code Thankful. You have Cocoa Goddess, I think. Z. If you use code Thankful on my website, you get $10 off. Of course, not on the glosses or lip oils, because the glosses are $8, the lip oils are $10. But everything else is $10 off. You can use that code on my website. I think I'm gonna just leave it up until Christmas, but for now, let's just say to the end of the week. I don't know. I might be feeling generous. I know that I'm doing a 24 days of Christmas sale because my birthday is Christmas Eve, so that's gonna start on the 1st. I'll be dropping more details about that. So y'all just stay tuned and shop with Shani. And go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, because there's certain content that I'm going to be dropping there. I was trying to drop everything on here and on YouTube, but it's just not working out for my life. So some stuff just going to have to be for YouTube, and some stuff just going to have to be for Instagram and YouTube, because I don't know. That's just how it's going to have to go. But go subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on anything. What do y'all want to talk about next week? Y'all want me to talk about Neptune, or y'all want me to talk about Uranus? Drop it down in the comments. Which one? Neptune or Uranus for Moonlit Monday? Y'all ain't no help. Chosen, I say Uranus. I think Uranus too. I almost talked about Uranus today, but I was like, girl, hit him with the Saturn. Hit him with the Saturn talk. And then before I knew it, I had like 4 pages of notes. And I was like, yeah, it was meant. It's meant for me to talk about Saturn. All right, got 2 for Uranus. All right, y'all. I guess I'm going to be talking about Uranus next week. So I got to get my notes ready. All right. So, what lessons or patterns have we avoided facing? Recognizing our worth and understanding that sometimes we haven't really done what we need to do, and what the things that have happened are a result of that. And we got exactly what we needed in order to get where we needed to be. Okay? That's what the Justice card is all about. The Justice card is also about rebalancing things and getting things in order. So in terms of how did I phrase this question? In terms of lessons or patterns, it would be avoiding routines, avoiding structure, avoiding certain levels of discipline, avoiding being consistent in certain changes that you're trying to make. Okay? In terms of um, lessons, it would be remembering that you're not supposed to be in certain types of relationships, giving your energy to the wrong people, um, putting yourself in a position that you know you can't handle, that you know is unhealthy for your triggers. Okay? Those would be, practical examples of lessons and patterns with the Justice card coming up in this position. How can we accept accountability and overcome these patterns? The Page of Pentacles. We need to embrace our ambition and know that it's okay to start over. It's okay that we don't know everything right now. It's okay that we are figuring it out and exploring, but it's the drive, it's the dedication, it's the passion, and the action that counts. Does that make sense? Y'all following me? So, how can we accept accountability and overcome these patterns? Take action. Stop doubting your ambitions. Stop doubting your dreams. Be very practical in your visionary pursuits. Those are a few practical suggestions that align with the energies of that card. Okay. How can we better accept the current restrictions and limitations that will help lead us in the right directions? The Knight of Pentacles. Again, be refreshed, be renewed in your pursuits. Know that it's okay that you don't have it all figured out, but if you're consistent, if you're methodical, if you not only plant the seed, but water the seed and nurture the seed, then the seed will grow. You can't just plant the seed and run away from the seed. Now, sometimes with the Knight of Pentacles, he can be non-committal and he can be kind of wishy-washy and on and off. So you want to make sure you get those energies in check. So you can better accept those restrictions and limitations by understanding that you don't have to have it all figured out. By understanding that consistency brings growth and practice makes perfect. By also understanding that you can ask questions and you can learn, you can be an apprentice, and that's okay. It doesn't take anything away from you. Okay. What knowledge are we ready to share? The High Priestess. Knowledge of self. Knowledge of self-integration and duality. Knowledge of the occult and spirituality. The High Priestess is a card of initiation and introspection. Sometimes you think that you're coming to someone to find out something, but you already know that thing within yourself. You already have these ideas within yourself. You just need the confirmation. So go out and share what you've learned of yourself, the divinity that you've learned of yourself, the higher powers that you've learned within you. Go out and share that knowledge. The ability to believe in your intuition. It's key as well. Intuition and initiation. Key elements of the High Priestess. Share knowledge of intuition and initiation. Okay. How can we better acknowledge and proactively use our potential? The Empress. Be willing to receive. Be receptive. Know that you're always connected to divine source. Again, here we have that energy of 3, that energy of Binah, divine creation, divine femininity, the form of the tree, the consecration of intelligence. Okay? So, how can we better acknowledge and proactively use our potential? By asking for help when we need it, by actually putting forth effort into the form of our tree, by using our sexual energy to create and not just to have sex, by collaborating and knowing how important community is, by trusting in the power of family by supporting other people. Okay. Are y'all following me? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know that I'm making sense. Y'all silent. Sometimes when y'all silent, I'd be like, they just listening. That's why they all silent. They just listening and taking it all in. And then other times when y'all get silent, I'd be like, they like, what the hell is this girl talking about? I don't be knowing. So that's why I have to ask. Message from Saturn was our last one. So we have Harath, longing from home, homesick for the stars. I think a lot of us feel like we don't belong here right now. We're kind of figuring out what the hell is going on this earth. How do we get here to this point? Like, how do I wake up here every day? Who sent me here? Because I cannot be of this world. I don't know about y'all, but I often feel like that. And so that's exactly what the card represents. But it lets you know that home is where the heart is, and your heart is in your body. So if you can be content within your heart, if you can be content within your mind and your divinity and that connection with source that your heart has, then you will always find home no matter where you are. So that is a profound message to have, because I think a lot of us, during all these things going on, all these truths being revealed, bombs being dropped, we're just feeling overwhelmed and we're feeling a little lost. And so when you can just find solace within yourself and your own just your own vessel, there's just a profound peace that comes along with that. You are not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. We definitely want to be taking the time to connect where we can. Obviously, a lot of us can't physically gather because of COVID, but you still want to be making active connections. It's important. We as humans, we need to be connecting with one another. It's a part of our human nature. So go out and share your story. Go out and share your knowledge. Talk to somebody about a subject that you're learning, or something that you want to learn, or something that you saw, current events, whatever. As long as you don't make it into a shouting debate match about whose opinion counts the most, which is what a lot of people are doing lately, go out and connect with people and have conversations. We have additional guidance and considerations, great news coming. And then your gut is not lying to you. Trust your intuition and believe in your powers to manifest. So if there's something that you feel like has been hiding in the balance, just know that it probably is whatever you think it is. But at the end of the day, you have the power to transmute that situation into something else. That's the power of alchemy. And we all have that power as humans. It's just a matter of tapping into it. We also have the health card come up. I feel like this has a lot to do with being mentally overwhelmed with all this weight and pressure, and then that kind of trickling down into physical health. So if you need to rest, if you need to take time for yourself, do it. Fast, even if it's just for a day. Even if you just want to water fast for a day, just fast for a day. Drink water all day. If you want to eat food, eat raw food all day. Or if you can't eat raw food all day, just commit to just not eating meat for a day and drinking water. Do some sort of fast and detox and cleanse your body. I feel like that's just very important right now for everybody to be doing. And Spirit just really has been moving me to just, all I keep hearing is just detox, 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 detox. I'm like, okay. Like, so I feel like that message is not just for me, it's for y'all as well with the detox. And then lastly, we have the parenting card come through. I feel like this has a lot to do with just parenting your kids during this time. There's a lot going on, a lot of new things to explain to your children, a lot of different things happening for them, and changes that you weren't expecting them to have to go through. And so this is a tough time. Chosen, I said, especially during the holidays. Yes. Make sure y'all are being safe out here during the holidays. But this is a weird time to be a parent and a weird time to be a kid. So I feel like in parenting your kid, just make sure that you are being patient with them and yourself, because just as this is a hard adjustment for you, it's just as hard an adjustment for them. So parent yourself before you go and parent your kids without patience. And let your kids express themselves. Tiki Custom said my daughter was just expressing herself earlier. That's great that you give her the floor to express herself, because some parents don't, and then it doesn't end well, with that type of situation. So give your kids time to express how they're feeling. Ask them what do they think about this? How do their little hearts feel about it? Are they feeling upset? Are they getting depressed? And parent yourself as well through these moments, like I said, before you go and parent your kids. But I really feel like this has a lot to do with just the parent and child dynamic really shifting during this time and just navigating through that. That's what Spirit is leading me more towards. And then lastly, you guys, don't focus on your losses, focus on what's left. This is a profound message with Saturn to begin with, because Saturn again asks you to review and reflect on what you've accomplished and what legacy you want to leave here and how you're going to do it, right? So sometimes in doing that, we get depressed, like, oh, I could have been doing this by then. Oh, I could have been doing this. But in reality, it's really, you could have, but you didn't. And now we have to move on. So let's do what we can moving forward and take control of what we can take control of. That's it for the reading, you guys. Last thing that I want to mention is, of course, I am going to be live on Wednesday with the Astro Teas. I'm probably going to be talking about the full moon. I kind of want to do a tea time and tarot again this month, but I don't know. I'll probably just drop the next for next month, because I want to have 30 days in advance to drop tickets and sell them. Chosen, I said, so grateful for you and to you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Listen, DM me. We got to figure out when we're going to go live, what we going to talk about. I'm all about it. I've been wanting to collab, so I'm here for it. Before I get out of here, the last thing that I want to tell y'all is just, so I feel like a lot of people just make all these rules to spirituality and such. Your spiritual journey is your spiritual journey. And you should go through it how you see fit, okay? For me, I love planetary magic. I love ancestral veneration. I love astrology. I love the Pinnacles of Solomon. There's some Damon Altry that I love. There's some aspects of mediumship that I love. So I draw from a lot of different things. But my ancestors, my great-grandma, my papa, the people that I have on my altar, they're Christians, okay? They're Christian. And so I feel like I have to incorporate the Bible in my practice to a certain degree, because this is where my power comes from, my ancestors, okay? So I want to encourage you not to just drop your Bible and lose it because you're walking into spirituality, if the Bible was something that you were into before. For me, when I was younger, I read the Bible like a book. I don't know why it was so interesting to me. I read it like a novel. And there's still sometimes when I go into my Proverbs, I go into my Psalms, I go into certain places in the Bible and pull out what I need to pull out to get me through. And I want to encourage you to use that as a spiritual tool, because that's exactly what it is, okay? And the most profound tool that is in the Bible, if you ask me, is going to be your Proverbs and your Psalms, okay? You can, if you don't have a whole Bible, get you this book right here. I have a whole Bible sitting up there, okay? A whole. My girlfriend has that big one. We have one up there. There's several, okay? But get you this right here. Power of the Psalms. In this book, it will tell you, oh, you need some money? Use this psalm. Oh, you need protection? Use this psalm. Oh, you need health? You need mercy? Use this psalm. And you go and you don't even have to go in the Bible. The psalm is right there. It's right there. below the thing. And what you do is you write it down on a piece of paper, you carry it with you, you say it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in the morning, however many times until your spirit feels at ease. But use it. Use it. We need divine protection during this time. And our ancestors, I know I'm not the only one, so I'm going to say our ancestors were using spells of the Bible. Okay? You can use spells of the Bible. There's several. This video is not about that, so I'm not going to go fully into that in this video. If that's something y'all want to know, y'all can ask me. But y'all need to get this. If you have ancestors that are Christian and you are tapped into the biblical energy, which is the worship of the sun anyways, get you your power of the Psalms and use it. You know, recite you some Psalms 91. Recite you some Psalms 138. Those are just a couple that I like. But we need it, okay? We need it. I'm not telling y'all that to tell y'all to go to Bible study or, you know, show up in church. I'm just saying, use your spiritual tools accordingly, okay? Use your spiritual tools accordingly. Joe Off Duty 7 just joined my live, y'all. She just sent me a bomb ass deck. I'm not ready to show it to y'all yet, but I'll show it to y'all on Wednesday. And I'll tag her in the live. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's all I wanted to share for tonight. I hope this message was helpful for you all. And I will see y'all on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Y'all know I'm going to be bringing the Astro Teas. Y'all be getting y'all's free readings. And I'll probably do a full moon reading since we have our full moon coming here in the next couple of weeks. I know the holidays are going to be crazy, so I don't know if I'm going to be going live on my regularly scheduled programming. But if anything changes, y'all know I'll update y'all on the Instagrams. If you need to book me, you can book and click the link in my bio. If you need to purchase products, you can purchase them in my bio. Again, this is Sweet Sage that I'm wearing on my lips. That's it, you guys. Good night, and thanks for joining. If you're watching this video on YouTube, all of the links that I mentioned in my bio are going to be in the description box. Also, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please comment down below and let me know what you think of the video. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about Psalms, Proverbs, books that I use, etc. Okay, good night, you all, and again, thanks for joining. I will see y'all on Wednesday.